Han Meditations. Okay, guys, so the first principle, the principle of mentalism, this is important because people don't realize how powerful your thoughts actually are. You can measure the frequency and the power of a thought just by thinking it. And just by thinking out positivity, you can change a reality. You can heal your mind. You can heal your body. You can change your reality just by thinking and believing. It's a scientific fact. That's why the placebo effect works, because people believe that they're healed. People believe that there is a change in their body, a change in their mind. And this change creates a new ripple of reality that they are actually changed. What do you think about this principle and the power of your mind?
Yes, completely. Everything comes down to belief. Two different people can be in the same circumstance, but how you perceive it and how you believe it's going to affect you is going to make all the world of a difference. And, our state of a being, our attitude that we're constantly holding goes along with our vibration. And that's going to have repercussions. Everything starts from your belief system, and then the world around you is affected by that. It's not the other way around. So that is huge.
Yes, guys. And even if you're aware of quantum theory and how it works, whenever you observe an atom, the atom actually changes to how you observe it. So this is literal scientific evidence that shows that just by thinking and observing something, the situation around you will change. It will literally change just by observing it through a different light, just by thinking about it differently. So depending on who's the observer and who's observing which scenario you're in, your reality can completely change in a more spectacular way than you could have ever imagined. So the principle of correspondence, the second principle, just has to do in my reality with as above, so below. That's basically what this is. That the same laws apply to the lower realms as the higher realms, the spiritual and the physical realms. It's the same thing. It's like whenever you're looking at a tree and you realize the roots on the tree are the same as the branches on the tree. It's the same thing whenever you look at an eye and then you realize the eye that you're looking through to see reality is the same eye that you see in the galaxies that looks like the retina exploding in the space-time. As above, so below. There's an infinite amount of examples of this, but that is what that means to me. It's a very cool concept that we live by and we truly believe in.
Yeah, I agree. That's how I see it as well. And of course, there's just so many examples of this. Even, a physical illness, there's something wrong in the spirit as well. It's not just physical. Everything is interconnected. For example, even all these principles, they have to do with the physical world, but they have to do with the spiritual realm and astral realm as well. And it's all interconnected. This is just one dimension of the whole. So of course it is connected.
Exactly. And then the third principle, the principle of vibration, this has to do with everything is moving. This goes back to what I said about atoms as well. When a desk may look solid, a rock may look solid, but there's molecules, there's atoms that are moving. They're moving and vibrating to create that solid appearance. They're vibrating very tightly together. And the more loose they are, the more soft the material is, like water. So the atoms are more spaced out. So that's just the law of vibration. Everything is truly vibrating together. So just know that. And once you, like I said, the more you bring this in, the more you take this into your mind, the more your mind will be able to expand, the more you'll be able to learn and teach yourself, and the more synchronization you will have to bring you to the right knowledge and expansion, your frequency will raise.
Right. These things are very philosophical, and especially if you're not used to hearing things like this, it can take a while to wrap your brain around it, but there's nothing wrong with that. I think these things, as you said, are just meant to help you open your mind and see reality for what it really is and get ourselves out of our kind of false perception of how we view the world more and more and more. The more you just read them, overview them, look at them, the more you realize the truth.
Yeah. And so the next law is the law of polarity. This is that everything has an equal and opposite. So there's light, there's dark, there's good, there's bad, there's positive, negative, which is basically the same thing, but everything has an opposite. So if you're feeling like you're in a low vibration, just know that there's a positive vibration right next to it. They're right next to each other. If you're feeling down, you can flip and you can feel positive. If you're feeling sick, you can flip it and feel healthy. You can allow yourself to feel whatever you want because it's right there. You're so close to it. They're so close together. Everything has an opposite right next to each other. And you can shift. You can walk over to that next opposite, that next polar opposite, and that polarity, make a polarity shift in your mind. And you can change your reality and change your existence.
Right. All things are one. Everything exists. So everything is possible, and you can tap into any of these energies, yin yang, all the same thing. And we always say that even if something negative happens, however negative it is, there's equal opportunity for just as positive things to come out of it as well. The same amount of energy, just as negative you can get something just as positive out of that situation.
It's like how I said, how you observe it. Because the only things that are negative by definition in my mind, which are things that are separate from each other, things that are segregating from each other, things that aren't bringing you together, things that are bringing you apart, things that are positive are bringing you together, able to spread information, able to spread knowledge, which is what we try and do here to build something positive. There can be something negative by definition. Like, we are in a negative place by definition because we are in a physical reality in which we are limiting ourselves, which is technically a negative thing, but we are doing something that's negative by definition to create a positive reality for us so that we may expand and experience this reality from a limited perspective to realize that we are infinite. That's what we are doing.
Woo. Wow.
Exactly. So just by reading these again and hearing them again, you can tell my vibration is raising. My vibration is rising. My frequency is rising just by hearing these and reading these again. That's why it's important to go back and listen to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, that I read the entire thing for hours so that you guys could have a nice thing to listen to. So check that out if you haven't. Listen to it all the time, guys. This brings me to the fifth principle, the principle of rhythm. Everything has a rhythm, and within that rhythm, you can predict what's going to happen next. So it's the same thing within your body. Your body has a rhythm. Your mind has a rhythm. The earth has a rhythm. The weeks have a rhythm. The moon phases have a rhythm. The sun has a rhythm. The galaxy, the solar system has a rhythm to it. That once you can realize what this rhythm is, you can start to read the stars. You can start to read the skies, read your body, read other people, realize the situations and scenarios that you are in so that you can take that next step to go to the next step of polarity, which will allow you to go from negative to positive more easily. So just know that everything has a rhythm. This is the fifth principle. Everything has a rhythm, and that rhythm is predictable.
Yes, of course, we see this everywhere. Nature and the seasons, even as small as on a cellular level. Every single part of our body, the cells over every single part of the body is on a different time period, but they completely rejuvenate after a certain amount of years. Like your heart, I believe, is about 7 years. You literally have a new, and skin as well.
Exactly.
You are literally a new person. Your cells are completely different every set amount of time. And it's throughout the entire universe, throughout our entire bodies, everywhere. And it helps predicting as well. And we can always know that, maybe something ends, we like this certain time of year or whatever it may be, but it will always come back again. And that's a good thing to know.
So the sixth principle is that everything has an equal and opposite cause of effect. The principle of cause and effect. This is basically what you put out, you get back. If you're putting out positivity, that's what you get back. If you put out healing, that's what you get back. And what I realize is that the more that you teach something to somebody else, the more you can learn it. That's why I love to spread and teach as much knowledge as possible, because then I'm really teaching myself, even though we are all one. So you could technically look at it from that perspective, that whenever I'm talking to someone, I'm really just talking to myself from a different perspective. But it works in that way as well. But it also works in the way that you are actually learning it. So everything has a cause and effect reaction. If you're being negative, you're going to get negativity in your life, one way or another. If you're putting out positivity, that is what you get back. If you're teaching people how to heal, that is what you get. If you're teaching people how to relax and calm their mind, you'll be living in a calm reality.
Yeah, for sure. This one really makes me think of just decision making. I mean, we all know that there's comes up times in our life where we have, the saying, the angel on your shoulder, the devil on the shoulder. And especially in this world where we have free will, you can decide on whatever you want to do, but you have to know there will be some type of effect for every decision you make. And certain decisions we have, this one shoulder saying this, one shoulder saying that, and it comes down to you to make the decision and whatever consequence or result you're going to have. And it reminds me of the from the Bible, the saying, because the Hermetic Principles are taught by Hermes, who they say is the same person as Thoth, and Thoth has a lot of principles that are just the same as what we see by Jesus or Yeshua in the Bible. So he said that talking about Lucifer, he gave up his wisdom for his splendor. And we see that a lot in our earth realm, because we are able to make this, we have pleasure and we have power and these things that aren't available in every single world. And we can decide to tap into those things, but you have to know that there's consequences from that. You can give up your wisdom, that's your choice, for splendor, for pleasure, but there will be some type of repercussion, result, consequences.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Kelly. And the last principle, the principle number 7, is the principle of gender. So this is that everything in the spiritual realm, in the earthly, physical realm, everything has 2 genders, which is masculine and feminine. I know there's a lot of people right now that believe in a million genders. There are basically 2 genders, which is masculine and feminine. Now, there's a spectrum in between which you can align yourself in. Some people may feel like they're more feminine or more masculine. That's fine. But there are basically just masculine and feminine. And once you are able to know yourself more, you can be aligned with both of them, unlocking the divine feminine within you, which is what Kelly is. She's a divinely feminine woman, and I am a divinely masculine man. So that's just our reality and what we have. Other people have different situations, but throughout spiritual growth, spiritual reality, whenever you're talking to spirit guides, if you're talking to extraterrestrials, if you're feeling this vibration whenever you're talking to different beings, you can basically discern whether they're masculine or feminine energy-wise. It's not in a sense of a physical body, just in a sense of an energetic sense. So it's very important to just know yourself and be in touch with your divine feminine and masculine energies.
Yeah, this is just like the yin yang as well, masculine, feminine, just like the other principle, correspondence, that there's an equal and opposite of each end, but it's all the same thing. It's just 2 different types of energies of the same thing, and both have their time and place, and both are different. I see the sun as more of a masculine energy and the moon is more of a feminine energy, just for an example, and both have their time and place, and both are powerful, just in different ways.
Yep. And
feminine energy is still just as strong as masculine. Just because it's not in your face, it's still just as strong. There's lots and lots of strength to take a passive route at times, and there's time and place to be, let's go, let's fight, let's conquer. And there's a time and place where you're silently, say supporting someone, and you're not doing much action, but there is so much power in that. And I want everyone to know that just because passiveness, submissiveness is still very, very, very strong. It does not mean weakness.
Exactly. You can be strong in a passive way and strong in a submissive way as well.
Right.
It doesn't just have to be overt, masculine. A lot of women have that powerful energy because they are submissive and they have that calmness to them, where they're able to actually align themselves in that divine feminine energy, and they can get whatever they want through that. And they can control men, they can control resources, they can control the entire world with that divine feminine energy. So it's very powerful, very important. And I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you enjoyed. Comment, guys. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on YouTube. New posts every single day. We're spreading all kinds of knowledge. We're building a community where people can have a safe place to talk and spread ideas and information. And we really want to communicate with you guys. We want to know what kind of videos you want to see. We want to know what you guys want to hear. We want to hear from you what you think of our content, and we want to just really chat with you. And we know that this channel is going to be huge. We know that everyone that is commenting on this channel has good karma. a positive energy to them and a positive frequency and vibration.
So thank you so much for watching. Check out our other videos here on the screen. If you like this one, you'll definitely love those, and we'll see you in the next one.